know what I'm talking about, because it is very much Hannah's forte and not mine. But a quick intro for you and a little bit more on the technical side of things, as Hannah's not very good on the technical side of things. Hannah's schedule is actually something that she's developed over years of being a wedding planner, and it's a really great resource. So I thought it would be a good idea to make it available to all of you guys online as a 7-page downloadable Word document. Now, all of the information you'll need on how to download this will be in the information bar below. So if you are a bride-to-be and you are planning your own wedding, then go ahead and download it after this video. We're going to go into a video demonstration of it after Hannah's finished talking as well, to give you a little bit more of an idea of how things work and why she's put them there. So over to you.
Okay, so if you're not lucky enough to have a wedding planner to do it all for you, which many of us don't, then hopefully this will be a really useful document for you to have with you for your duration of the planning, put every single tiny detail into, and hopefully pass it on to whether it's your bridesmaid, maid of honour, who's going to take over the charge of the day, and literally pass it on to every single supplier that you've got. So the caterer, the photographer, everyone, so that they know exactly what's happening at every time of the day. You don't need to worry about a single thing. It's all down there on a piece of paper for them to have a quick look at, to make sure that everything's been done to exactly how you want them to do it.
And if anything goes wrong, they can be like, where is it on the schedule, and work it out.
It's something that I found very useful in my working career, so hopefully you guys will find it useful too, to take with you and add as you wish to make it the perfect day for you guys.
So into the video talk through.
So this is the basic schedule that I use for weddings and parties. As you can see, it's very basic at the moment, but I've set it out as a downloadable version so that you guys can add as and when you like. Obviously the first page includes all of the contacts. You've got the bride, groom, mother of the bride, everyone that is involved in the wedding really. Put literally everyone on there, so if anyone needs to be called or contacted, especially not by yourself on your big day, if someone needs to get hold of someone, they've got all of the details there that they'll need. This is really important that everyone's included. There's a few details on here that you won't need, but hopefully it will jog your memory to add a few that you may forget about. So going down into the actual schedule, I've set it out so that you put a time, the detail of what you actually need to get done, and who's responsible in the final section. The pre-wedding section I've left fairly blank because obviously it's very specific to yourselves, the bride and groom, and where you're going to be. So you add in the details there. That could be dress fittings, it could be picking your bridesmaids up from train stations, or whatever you like in there. You then go through to the dates before the wedding. I've actually put this one out to 3 days before the wedding. I think this was actually a version that I used for my wedding, so it's got a few details in there already. It was a marquee wedding. Obviously if you're in a venue the details would be very different, but just add in as and when you like. Now we're on to 2 days before your wedding. I've put in a few details here that were relevant to this specific event, but you can either use these or obviously add in a lot more of your own detail. Examples include decorating the marquee, finalising your seating plan, which is really important, and double checking that you've got all of your guests on there. Any appointments that you've made for your hair, beauty, getting the groom to collect his suits, preparing the guest book, that's all things that would be going on a few days before the wedding. The day before the wedding is a bit more specific, when the florists may arrive, cards get set out, PA systems are installed, everything needs to be in here, and also the responsibilities for anyone who should be watching over them, meeting them at the venue, or checking that everything is set up to your specific requirements. That should all go into there. And then the big day, a lot of detail should be put into here because it means that you as a bride can hand the responsibility onto, say, your bridesmaid, wedding planner if you're lucky enough to have one, to be able to just pass it on to her. Just get all of the detail in there. If you do have a wedding planner, she'll probably be doing this for you, but it's good to make sure that the detail is specific and you're both under the same impression as to the exact timings of everything and what's going on. For example, the caterer will need to know exactly what you're thinking, and this is a good way to make sure it's all set in stone. They know when they're supposed to be serving the starter, when they're supposed to be setting up, etc. It's really important to the day running really smoothly, and also as a way to take it off your shoulders really. so that you can feel a lot lighter on the day and enjoy the day yourself, because it's very important that you're not taking it all on board
Not
yourself.
worrying.
Exactly. You do not want to be thinking about any of this. So you can see all the details that are all in here. This could be totally irrelevant to you, but it's a good starting point to work from. So that's all the wedding detail. And then working down, you've got the venue set up, any requirements you want, specific floor plans, how you want the tables laid out and numbers, etc. How that you want the table format set out would be put into there. The AV and production requirements, your band or DJ might have specific requirements, where they want plug sockets, any specific requirements they want that you can pass on to the venue. It's always good to have it in there, and also so that you've got proof that you've given it to the venue so that they can supply it ready for their arrival. Catering, every bit of detail should be put into here. The menus, the number of your vegetarians that you've got, total numbers of guests, etc. Everything should be added into there. Items for you to take with you or to remember, that's always important. So any kind of random bits and
Lip gloss,
pieces.
Concealer, extra bronzer.
All of those bits and pieces
All the
obviously
girly
important
bits.
to the day. Should be added into there. Duties, this is always an important one. Something to give. It's good to give this to everyone, as we said before, but most importantly to the people in your wedding party. So your best man, ushers, bridesmaids, and make sure they read it. I don't think mine actually did. I think
But if anything goes wrong, they know where to go to.
Exactly.
They won't come to you.
And also, if they've never been a best man or an usher before, it kind of gives them an idea of what they're supposed to be doing, because it's quite new to a lot of people, isn't it? So get them to have a quick read, gives you a bit of an idea, probably makes you look quite bossy, but at least it all gets done. Maps and directions is always really useful. Even if you've given them to people before, it's always important to have backup, and they can always look back on this. Caterers, DJs, etc. At least they've got it all in one place with the timings and all directions of how to get there, because the worst scenario would be for someone to get lost on the day. Hotel accommodation confirmation, that is something that I had in there for any bookings that you make for the bride and groom on the wedding night. I put that into there. Post-wedding, this is more for the clear-up really, so hopefully bride and groom will have been and gone. This is to remind anyone clearing up to pick up, for example, your table names, your place cards, anything that you want collecting, the guest book. It's always good to put all of that in there, just so that once you've gone, everything that you want to be done gets done.
And another thing that's really useful actually is if you go ahead and highlight each person's role. Say if you've been a bridesmaid and you have certain responsibilities, highlight each of their lines so that they easily can look through and be like, right, I haven't done that, I have done that. Because it can get quite confusing because it's a 7-page document.
And it makes it easier for both parties as well, doesn't it, really? And it doesn't make it look that they have to do the 7 pages themselves.
Yeah.
This is quite a useful page, the last page featured. This is for your photographer. Something I find really important that you should do to get the photos that you want taken on the day. This is a document that you can print off separately for your photographer when you're having a meeting as well, in the planning process, of exactly every shot that you'd like. Obviously you can delete as required. It kind of covers most areas, and add in as you like as well, whether you've got specific areas in the venue or if you've got specific people that you'd really like a photo of. This is a good way to make sure you get all the photos, and they can tick it off as they go. So there we go. I hope you find this document useful. It's something that I use on a regular basis myself, and I literally couldn't live without it on events.
And all of the information that you will need in order to get your free download of this, it will be in a Word format, will be in the information bar below this video. So if you are planning your own wedding and you need a little helping hand, make sure you